it's not that way. I can see how perfect it was. I can now understand why some die so that others may live, and some get traumatized so that others can awaken. And how we do that for each other all the time. And if those 2 points in my childhood are so divinely orchestrated, then everything else is. And I've had glimpses of other aspects. And that's the thing about entering present moment awareness. One of the barometers of being present is seeing our life as a tapestry that is so perfectly woven. It's beyond mental comprehension as to how is it possible for everything to be perfect, and yet when I'm going through it, to think that I'm actually the one changing it, making it happen. On some level, yes, the vibrational is. But on this little me running around on the planet, there's some level of arrogance to think that I can function absolutely independently from this entire universe, that I'm alone. It's like a cell in the body that functions alone. That's called cancer. See? It's called cancer. Right, so, and sometimes you get cancer. People get cancer. But sometimes you get cancer so you can wake up and integrate. Right? So everything is functioning in our own individual experience. And that's the thing about, you can only see that divine aspect of your life by looking at your own experience. You can't see it by looking at the world. Only when you see it in your own experience do you see it reflected in the world. Do you understand? So I can look at the world, and if I am shut down on my own emotional body awareness, it appears that I am living in a world that is going to hell. It's completely chaotic. There is no meaning in anything. It is run by mad people, right? It's insane. It's just full of victims and victors. Boom, 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 right? But when I overcome that in myself, and I see in myself how things are divinely, how my unconsciousness is a means to gain experience, and as I've gained the experience, I start coming to consciousness and start taking responsibility, using that experience. And my responsibility is only to stay in the moment and listen to the moment. And I learn that about myself. I see that everyone else's childhood, no matter how, I can see that how everyone else's childhood, no matter how terrible it was for them, is what it took to imprint their emotional body with what they've come here to do, to their purpose. Right.
And I look through my experience through the emotional lens.
Yeah, I mean,
the emotional. So it's not like looking back.
Well, the insight is coming from the vibration, really, but it's coming through the emotional body. But actually, the knowing is vibration. It's coming through the emotional body. You open your heart, you will know. Now, open your heart and you'll know. If your heart's closed, you can't know. You can only just try and understand. So that's the thing of open your heart. It means removing all the obstructions, all the distorted energetic pathways that are causing the vibration called peace to come out as Iraq. Because Iraq is just a manifestation of a distorted peace. It's a manifestation of love being distorted, right? That's all it is. It's not anything else. It's a distortion because of the lenses of the emotional bodies of everyone involved in this collective human experience, right? All our fear, anger, and grief is now coming up to be cleansed. Instead of cleansing it within ourselves, we're projecting it on other people. We're believing the story, and we're taking an action out of the story we're telling ourselves. And so what we're doing in this world to realize peace, we're not trying to realize peace, we're trying to make peace. You can't make something that's already created. So all we're doing is operating it, and there's something for us to learn about that, otherwise it wouldn't be happening. There's something for us, we have to realize something out of this. And that's the thing about, there's no shortcuts, and you can't fake it. You can't fake being present. You can't fake having authenticity. You can't fake having integrity. You can't fake intimacy. You can try, if you're a good actor, you might pull it off for a while, but eventually there'll be cracks in the paper. You can't fake it. You can't fake the hard stuff. You can fake the mental stuff. You can stand up and fake being oneness. You can talk Advaita and fake it. It's very easy to do. Talk oneness. Just say the right words, because people who don't have emotional body awareness, what they do is they look at a visual image and they take the information, and if the visual image and the information match up together, they believe it to be true. So you can dress up in the right clothes and say the right things, and for most human beings they'll go, oh, it's a spiritual person, because they don't have emotional body awareness. But if you have emotional body awareness, you can feel something's wrong there. There's something unintegrated, right? And it will come out sooner or later. You can pretend to have it all together, but it's not about pretense, it's about presence, right? And eventually it will come out. In some way the unintegrated stuff will come out. And that's the story of the priest who stands up every Sunday and speaks holy words and is caught with the prostitute early on Monday morning, in the early hours of Monday morning, because they're speaking, they're pretending. They actually haven't done the hard work. They're doing it mentally. You can take anything mentally, and so we can approach peace mentally and physically for as long as we want. But the fact is, it's garbage, and the proof is in the pudding. The reality that actually unfolds is one of fear, anger, and grief. Why? Because that is what's obscuring the peace. What caused 9/11? Fear, anger, and grief. That's what caused it, and until that is resolved, there's always going to be 9/11s. You can't go and make agreements and do change physical circumstances and think you're going to actually adjust that situation, right?
So there's part of me, I guess, that thinks that if I live from an open heart,
Yes.
then, and if I truly get cleaned out, whatever that, integrated, then I won't be triggered anymore.
Well, you probably won't react anymore, but in my experience of it is, you see, you're trying to find a destination again, and that's the mental body, right? This is an eternal journey. It's a journey without end, right? It's an eternal journey, right? And so, for me, it's about compensation. And when I use the word compensate, I mean, when a pilot takes off in a plane and they're flying, they don't just set the course and start chatting. Even if you set autopilot, the plane's not staying on course. It's constantly adjusting itself because of the turbulence, right? The impacts, the turbulence. And every day is like that. This is an energetic experience we're in, profoundly energetic. It's like being in an ocean of energy. And there's going to be high tides and low tides. There's going to be storms and there's going to be quiet.
That's true. We take it and flatten it out, don't we?
Yeah, well, we want it to be flat. We want nothing, we want it to be just stop everything. That's what we think. If nothing's happening, we're terrified of nothing happening, but actually we don't want anything to happen, right? Try and stop everything. But actually, it's not about stopping, it's about being able to respond to whatever happens in each moment. And not to have an idea what's going to happen and when it's going to happen or even why it's going to happen, but just to, when it's happening, to respond to it. Trim the sails, move the rudder. And that trimming of the sails and moving the rudder, or moving the joystick. They call the joystick in the airplane, right? That's the controls of the airplane. It's the joystick, right? So move the joystick, and the joystick is not about being happy all the time. It's about feeling everything. If joy is a relationship with my emotional body in which I allow myself to feel